The deck I'm getting ready to show you is not new by any stretch of the imagination. I have had this deck for at least 10 years, maybe even more. I've only used it 4 or 5 times in that time period, and you're getting ready to see why. But I was talking about this deck the other day because I was using it, and some women in one of my groups were asking me, did I do a review of it? And I'm like, I didn't review this deck. This would definitely be a fun one to review. You guys know I love nudity. There's a lot of nudity in here. So if you're somebody who does not like the naked female body or just naked bodies in general, this is not the this is not the video for you, because every one of these 78 cards has a naked woman in it. So you might want to click off right now. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone and everyone who might like it as well. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section, and if you would like me to give you a reading, please email me or hit me up on social media. All of my information is underneath this video, along with the link to my desk mat that you can see in the background. And I don't know, I'm gonna put the link to this deck too. I'm gonna find it. I did see if it's on Amazon, I'll give you an affiliate code because I'm an Amazon affiliate. And if it's not there, I will link you directly to where you can buy an authentic copy. Remember, there are a lot of fakes out there of different decks. So let's take a look. This is the front of the box. Le Tarot des Femmes Erotiques. I think that means the tarot of erotic femmes. I think that's what that means. I don't speak French, so I'm just guessing from what I do speak, which is Spanish. And I only speak a little bit of that. So if you want to pause, you can look at the back of here. You can pause right here. And we're going to open her up. So there are no finger holes on the sides, but I have no problems opening up the deck. So it doesn't give me a problem at all. There's nothing on the inside of the box. It's just a standard hard box. Better than a tuck box, but not, you know, not an amazing box, but not a cheesy one either. It's right in the middle grade. If you want to pause and read this, please do. It's basically letting us know what kind of, you know, images we're going to be seeing, and they're mostly taken from history. And I think that's the link to the deck. If so, I will definitely put it underneath here. I'm gonna click on it first to make sure it's still, you know, it's still viable, because I did buy this deck a long time ago. So this is the back of every card, and as you can see, let me show you something, because I have a standard size tarot deck right here. So as you can see, these are pretty large cards. Here's a standard size tarot deck. I'm gonna line them up, and as you can see, it is bigger and it is longer. So if you have small hands, you're going to need to adjust for the shuffling. Now turn it around, and this is the first card. Yeah, that's her full. All right, cool. Now the first thing you're going to notice here, other than the fact that she doesn't have any clothes on, is that these are older looking pictures. I'm thinking 1900s. I don't know when cameras were invented, but I'm thinking, based on what it said here, it said the 20th century. So it had to be right around the time that cameras were invented. So as you're getting ready to notice, these images are very old. And I like that about it. I like the vintageness of this deck. Each one has the number and the name of the card, and then it has at the bottom some little expression or something that helps you, know what the card is about. So anybody can use this deck. A beginner, somebody who's seasoned, a professional like myself, anybody can use this deck. And as you can see, there is a border around it. But I don't know, I'm not really a border person, but it works in this context because they look like little portraits to me. So it definitely works for me in that context. So I'm not upset about the borders. And again, I pretty much love this deck. I really do. I'm going to tell you what I don't like about this deck. What I don't like about this deck is that there are very few women who are of a fuller size. This is the only one. There's some other ones that maybe almost, but she's really the only one that's of a fuller size. I really like images of women of different sizes. So these women all have about the same size. So that's the only thing about it that I don't really like. The other thing I don't like about this deck is that all of the women are of European descent. There's no other culture in this deck that I can tell, because you never really can look at somebody and tell their culture, but I really cannot see anything but Europe here. So that's the other thing I don't like about it. I would love it to have more diversity in culture and size and age. You're going to notice that there are not anybody, there's no crones in here that I've seen. As we're looking for it, maybe we'll find a crone, but I haven't seen any crones in here. You also can see that even though I haven't used this deck that much, the edges of it, you know, you can see around the edges, like from just using it the 4 or 5 times, the edges are already giving me some trouble. So if you are a ruffle shuffler, you have to pay attention to that. Now, other than that, I like everything else about the deck. I really do. I love the images as far as the poses are concerned. I love nudity as art. You guys know that's one of my favorite things. And the deck is all women. So it has that lesbian, even if they're not lesbians, because we don't know what these women are, but it has a lesbian vibration to me because of the all women. And then you'll see women together, and they're, you know, they're in these intimate embraces in some of these poses. So I'm feeling that. It's very creative, the ones that they used for each card. Like this one here, I'm going to show you, the Hermit. I think this is very creative because it looks to me like the Hermit is withdrawn. The Hermit seems to be by herself. She's naked, chilling at home. And it looks like somebody might have come to the door and she's like peeking out. So I like the choices that they made for each card. The Wheel, again, another good choice. She's holding some hula hoop looking thing. So I thought that was a great choice. Love her shoes. A lot of them, even though they're naked, they have on shoes. I thought that was a cute idea too. This one I like a lot because she's like, I don't know if she's feeding a swan or something. I don't know if that's a real swan or if it's one they painted into the picture, but I like that too. And as you can see at the bottom, the expressions really do help you. So if you're a beginner or if you're just reading one day feeling kind of lazy, the bottom really does help. You'll also see that a lot of the card names have been changed. The fairy here is the Hanged Man. So you'll notice that too. Like the High Priestess was the Witch. You know, so they did change a lot of the court cards. And they also changed the names of the... they changed the court cards, which we haven't gotten to yet. And they changed a lot of names of the major arcana. Not all of them, as you can see, but a lot of them. So for me, it's a very feminine empowerment type deck. And like I said, that's what the times that I use it. I use it mostly when I'm doing like old-fashioned readings. Like I did a reading on the Black Dahlia and I used a very similar deck to this one. So that's the kind of reading I would do with these. And of course, you know, I like the aspect of, you know, using it with women, you know, that kind of thing too. Check out our devil here. Be aware. I feel like our devil's a little naughty. But they fit for me. Like, you know, the images definitely fit for me. The way that their pose fits for me. You know, all of it really does fit. Check out the star. Healing after destruction. So the star comes after the tower. So the tower is the destruction. And now you're healing. You have hope that things are going to get better. Love the tapestry in the background. If you take a really good look, there's a lot of tapestries. A lot of like she has some type of mesh going on. You'll see a lot of that in these pictures. A lot of mesh. And you also see a lot of props. and jewelry. It's like, even though they're naked, a lot of them have on jewelry or shoes, or they're partially naked or something like that. And I just love that. And they don't look unhappy. You know, they look like, yeah, I'm naked and free, so I'm feeling that too. End of Judgment, Rebirth. I really like this card here. I've seen several interpretations with the woman's vagina, and usually it is a different card. I think the last time I saw it, it might have been like the Empress, for giving birth and being a mother. But in this one, it's like the world. So the world comes out of the body, not everything, of course, animals and stuff like that, but the world, humans, the human beings in the world, come out of the womb of a woman. We all came from a woman's womb, at least for now anyway, because with modern technology, they might start making babies in an incubator after a while, and you just come pick up your baby. You put in the order for your baby and just come pick up your baby. But for now, women are still producing them. This is pretty. I like that. I like the way her dress is coming off. That's really pretty. All right, so a thing you'll notice about these are the minor arcana. You will see up here that there's a little picture here. Those are wands. So this is the Ace of Wands. Each one has the wands on each side of them, and it tells you how many by how many wands are there. So this is the Ace. Then the 2 has 2 wands together for the alliance. And then the 3 has 3 wands. So as you can see, the amount of wands. So if you can't remember, you can just count the wands. Like, oh, okay, this is the 4 of wands. 1, 2, 3, 4, And sometimes I do have to count them because I can't always tell based on the image, because these images are not, the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. So if you're somebody who is not used to tarot, that's going to be something that you're going to have to, it's going to be a challenge, because like this one here, this is the 4 of wands. So if you don't know what the 4 of wands means just by looking at it, that could be a challenge. But at least it is 4 wands, and then you can just look it up in your book. This one does not come with a book, but remember, mine is an old copy. Somebody told me that the modern ones, the ones that came out in the past couple, I guess, months or years, that the modern ones actually do have a guidebook, which I think would be interesting, because I would love to know if they say anything about the women that are in these poses. Do they tell us who they are? Are they actresses? Are they models? Like, I would love to know more about them. Cool. And I'm guessing, based on this, because I haven't read up anything about it, I'm guessing that this was art that maybe a photographer had someplace, someplace buried away, and they just took the pictures and then matched them each with one of the 78 cards. That's what I'm thinking. It doesn't say that, but that's just the guess that I have, because like I said before, all of these, at first I was looking at them and I'm like, are these women modern women that they just did in black and white? But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like these are actually from the past. Now, the novice is the page. The lady is the knight. I don't know what this word is. The chatelaine, it looks like chatelaine, is the queen. And then the queen is the king. I think. I'm only saying that based on how the cards came. I'm guessing that that's what it is. Of course, remember, I don't have a guidebook, so the guidebook could say something different, but that's the way I use them when I've been reading with them. And I just did it based on the size of the houses. A novice more than likely doesn't have a house, probably lives with their parents. The lady probably has her first house. Is probably, I'm thinking, a very average size house. The chatelaine is said to have a big house, and the queen is said to have a castle. So I just did them based on the size of the houses. Now, if you look it up in the guidebook and it's something different, please let me know, because that will help me a lot. But I think that's what it is. Now we're going into the swords. As you can see, that's a little picture of a sword. 2 of swords. I really like also how they seem to be from the remember we said 1800s, so I like the differences in their hairstyles. They all have these very, old-fashioned hairstyles that I really like. This one reminds me of finger waves, and I think this was the original finger waves. And then in the 80s, in Hood, we redid this look and called it finger waves. I think they definitely called it something else before that. I used to love finger waves. They were very easy to do. I couldn't do them, but I would get them a lot. Oh, wow. See those backgrounds? And as you look at them, you see more props, fans. She has a beautiful fan in her hand. And it's really interesting because as I'm looking at their vagina, I'm like, most modern women that I know shave. So I don't think that was going on back then. So that's interesting as well. Because so far, all the ones we've seen have not been shaven. So that's interesting. So again, remember when I told you I've had these for a while, and you can see around the edges, from shuffling, the little bit of wear and tear. So it hasn't been bad. I mean, they're not falling apart, but you can see that the paper is chipping in those little areas. Now, because this is an older deck, I don't know if they're still using the same paper. Okay, here's our Page of Swords. Page of Swords is always a scholar. Should be learning something anyway, even if it's not formal. Our Lady. Ooh, she rides the wind. So I'm thinking she definitely is a knight, because the knights are the ones that ride. Woman of Ideas. And our queen thinks the unthinkable. So I love the jewelry. Look at her jewelry. Her jewelry is awesome, all up in her arms. So I like these. That's why I said, every so often I dig them out, even though they're lacking some of the things I really want. I would have to take off points for that, seriously. So I couldn't give this deck a 10 out of 10. I probably would give it like a 6 out of 10. It's a cool deck. It's awesome to work with. I love the nudity in it, but it has some issues that I mentioned before. But I like it. The 2 of Cups. Remember I said I felt lesbianism from it? Well, romance for the 2 of Cups. So it doesn't say that anywhere on it, but that's just what I got from it. From the vibration of the women. So many of them are in, intimate looks. They're not doing anything that would be considered to be sexual, but they are in very intimate poses with each other. And, the romance one written right underneath them, hugging each other. So even though women who aren't lesbians do hug each other, but still, just the way that they put it together, it gives me that energy. That at least some of them, would have that vibration. But then other ones are pictured by themselves, so they, pretty much don't have any real, indication of what they are. Love dreams. Love does dream. And love is patient, and love is kind. Leaving love. This person is leaving their love. And then we have this one. This is the 9, I think. Let me see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9. Yeah, I'm right about that. And the 10. So again, family. Again, love. So that's the salvation through love card. So that's another good one too. All right. So here is our Novice of Cups, our Page of Cups. Here is our Lady of Cups, who is the Knight, seeks wisdom. Here is our Queen of Cups. And here is our King. Awesome. All right, now we have to finish the Pentacles. Let's take a look. Ace of Pentacles. Now, as you can see, you know, look at that. Look at her. Look at the thing that she's holding. That's a. It looks like a big ass pentacle. I don't know what that is that she's holding though, but I think that's cool. So you see how they've managed to match these, you know, for what's going on. These are 2 juggling. Here's our 3. Our 3, good work, working together. It looks like they're working and she's just sitting there, but okay. Here's our 4 of Pentacles, miserliness. Our 5 of Pentacles, poverty. So as you can see, even in the ones where you can't quite tell what's going on, the key expression at the bottom lets you know what is happening in the picture. The Apprentice, 8 of Pentacles, is in general an apprenticeship. Our 9 of Pentacles is always somebody who, you know, they're rich and they're taking good care of themselves. This family clearly is wealthy. Look at their fur coats and things. So again, that's awesome. And here are our last 4. This is our Page of Pentacles. She's beautiful, isn't she? Look at her face. Here is our Knight of Pentacles. Here's our Queen. Controls money, 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 money. And last is our Earth Mother, who is the King of Pentacles. So as you can see, this is a very interesting deck, tastefully done. And I like it a lot. So let me know in the comment section what you think of this deck. Do you have any decks that have nudity in them, and how do you feel about them? And please come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.